There's a dedicated group of people who are ravenously desperate to see the body cam footage from the search of my house. And I've said no, like I'm not going to release it. There's a weirdo out there, an obsessive woman named Null, who is trying to get the footage through the legal process. I mean, it's a faulty legal process. He doesn't have a legal basis for it that makes any sense. But, you know, courts do weird stuff. So he might get it. I don't know. I will oppose it because it's, you know, it's my home. And it has my children in it and my wife. And there's just no reason for people to see it. It's a whole thing where, you know, there's parts of my life that should remain private. I was told over and over and over again, keep parts of your life private. So when I tried to keep part of my life private, people went fucking nuts. And I guess it's just how the internet goes. I mean, I should know this by now. I'm not dumb. But that being said, I will oppose it because, you know, it's not anybody's business at all. And the law says that it's private. And so it shall remain private if I have anything to do with it. That said, I do know that my county government decided to fuck up. And what they did was allow 2 people to view the body cam footage in person. Not all of it, only 2 of the videos, as far as I can tell. That being said, that is that's a screw up on their part, and that will be dealt with in appropriate measure at the appropriate time. In light of all that, these 2 people have written up stories about how the body cam footage looked, and their stories are a little bit horrible. And so I figured we'd read them. And what I will do is, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to release the footage for a couple reasons. But what I'll do is I will show photos that were taken by the police during the during the raid or whatever. People can determine for themselves. There are parts of my house that I'm not going to show. I'm not going to show you any bedrooms because they're not for you. But you can see the common living spaces that are described in the, in the, in these descriptions. You can see my office. And you can determine for yourself if they're accurate and horrible, or, if my children live in squalor and filth, or if they don't. I don't know what people's obsession with this footage is. But I guess they're just very, very interested in my life and in like what happened. I get that to a point, but the amount of like frustrated tard rage that has come out of people over it is pretty amazing. But good, you should move on. Because again, none of this concerns you at all. And the fact that people are so ravenously after it is rather insane. And again, to me, I was kind of surprised when I looked at the pictures because I was like, well, it doesn't seem as bad as I remember it. Which is kind of weird because I was like, yeah, house is really messy that day. We were doing laundry. There's a bunch of laundry out. And I was like, and sometimes the counters are really fucking cluttered. But then, like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, right? Like, I shouldn't. That's me pushing a narrative and pushing bias. No one wants to see your kids. I beg to differ. There's a ton of people who say specifically that they want to see my kids on the video. They're actually, quite the subject of people's imaginations. Final thoughts. I was not able to stop or rewind, so these are very off-the-cuff comments. The footage was a bit overwhelming. The house is so huge and cluttered that it's very disorienting to watch. Also, the officer we follow must be in charge. He is all over the place. He sticks in one room for a few minutes, then shuffles between them, so the footage is all over the place. However, we hardly see the kids at all. And all the officers act very kind and patient with the family. They did. They did. I don't think I ever suggested otherwise. So that, I'll agree with that statement. There's a dirty cat house tower and filled trash bags on the patio. Were there? It doesn't sound right. But maybe. Officer sees kids inside the house through the window. Takes about 6 knocks. One of Nick's daughters can be heard saying, Daddy told her not to answer the door. Yeah, I told my kids not to answer the door because, that daughter is 8 years old at the time. So I really don't want her answering the door. I would prefer her to get an adult. I didn't think that was weird. I didn't think that was weird at all. But I guess other people are like, no, 8-year-old, just answer the door for whoever comes up. That's fine. And if you are, that's great. That's not how we live, generally speaking. It didn't have anything to do with it being the cops or not. It had everything to do with it just being a person she didn't know. No one said that's weird. No, the cops said it was weird. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Everybody keeps saying this shit like, nobody said this, nobody said that. No, tons of people have said this. I'm the one who reads all the fucking comments that are sent to me all the time. So yes, tons of people have said it's weird that my 8-year-old told the police that Dad said not to open the door. The cops said it was weird that the 8-year-old said Dad said not to open the door. That's dumb. That's dumb. But the detective who did this is dumb. So I don't know, what else to say about it. But I didn't think it's weird to have an 8-year-old not answering a door. Yeah, as soon as the door is open, literal labyrinth of clothes and stuff. Hard to decipher where one room begins and another ends, because every counter and table surface is covered in bottles, clothes, packages of food, indicators of kids and their toys live there. There's not a lot of space to walk around the piles of stuff either. So I guess this will bring us to the first pictures. Here we go. Here's the first photo. You can see this is and I'll show to the left here as well. So this is the floor that was so cluttered that you could not walk without stepping on anything. And the table in part of the counter, which I'll show the rest of in a minute, that were so covered in bottles that you can't put anything on them. There's no surface visible. So like I've said the entire time, this was definitely laundry day. We were doing laundry. Our laundry room is right off of this entry room. So sometimes when we're doing laundry for 7 people, you get a lot of it. And you have to lay it out. First of all, you have to get it organized into different color piles so you can actually manage it. But here you go. So you can see there is quite a bit of laundry. And there is stuff on the counter. Like I'm guilty of that 100%. Sorry that there's stuff on the counter. I don't know what to say or how I should be punished for this. Was this from the same day? Yes. Every one of these pictures is taken by a police officer. You'll actually see one of the police officers in one of the pictures because there's a mirror. And I'll show you. We'll get there. But so this is this is what is discussed. And absolutely, like there's a bunch of laundry out. Show metadata, you lying liar. Okay, like do you want me to? Why do you? Is this how you would lie about this? I don't know. I figured I would post a clean house and be like, here, it's perfect. Can we see the metadata on this photo? Okay, so maybe let me figure out how to get it. I will show you. Trying to figure out the best way to do that. Look, I know some of you are really pissed off with me, and you have a reason to be. I'm not here to deny any of that shit. Really not. That being said, please understand that this is a look into my life that you guys shouldn't ever have. It's not for you at all. I wasn't prepared for you guys to ask for the metadata, but I'm happy to give it to you. So my first question for you is, why do you need to see the metadata? Is it because you don't believe that this picture, lines up with what was described? Is that why you want to see the metadata? Tell me if this is satisfactory or not. I'm going to assume the answer is no, because nothing ever seems to be satisfactory for people. But here you go. Maybe this helps. So here's the picture up top. And if you check this, Thursday, May 23rd, 2024, 9:24 a.m. So then here's the rest of it. So here's the location. Here's the it was taken on an Apple iPhone 13. I use a Samsung Ultra 24 Plus or whatever. Here's the image, and I have it stored on this device. And there. So I don't know. Is that sufficient for you? Edited when? What are you talking about? There's literally no way to satisfy you at all in this. So I guess we'll just move on. Took way too long to provide it. Okay, sure. That's what I was doing. I'm notoriously good at photo editing. That was a different. It was. Oh my God. So here's the picture up top. You can see, I guess, and then I wonder if that EXIF data is on the picture that I have too. Maybe it is, but anyway. So back to the image. It's the same image. The top part gets moved up when you pull up the details on your phone. BobTube says you've picked the best photos and it's still bad. Okay, yeah, sure. I didn't say it was good. But you get to make your own judgments. It's fine. So yeah, the floors are completely covered in clothes and junk. In some areas, there's no walkway at all. The mess you see in Nick's kitchen when he shows it on stream is nothing compared to the rest of the house. That one space is clearly staged. It's obvious he only cleans visible areas specifically for streaming. Well, no, the other part of the house just gets messy because there are children involved. We've got Kayla and April brought out of the house and led outside. Officers called to a child who's downstairs. Kids are being removed from the house while the search begins. One of the officers goes downstairs to retrieve the youngest child. She comes up holding the officer's hand, speaks to him, but the audio was unclear due to background noise, so I couldn't make out what she said. Like I said, the officers are very kind to the children in particular. They were a little less kind to the three adults, but they weren't rude or anything. But having it wasn't on me, but having guns drawn on you is a little traumatic. She pauses to pick up the cat so she can take it outside with her. Yes, our cats live outside. Nick can be heard outside yelling, "Get out of my house." He says something about probable cause and search warrant. He sounds indignant. It was a little off-put. Yes, kids are sitting on the ground with Kayla, huddled against the house. Scene is heartbreaking. It really was. But I don't have a photo of that. Let's see. I'm trying to... they begin photographing evidence inside Nick's streaming room. The room is far smaller than expected, and the condition is much worse than anything seen on stream. There are bottles of alcohol everywhere. The entire space is buried under hoarded junk, electronics, collectibles, and random gear. His 5 monitors set up and other equipment are visible, but everything around it is chaotic. The curated background people see during streams is a total facade. So let's go into my office. Here's the first one. As you can see, there is nowhere to possibly go in there. The floor is completely covered and inaccessible. Bottles are everywhere, literally covering the ground. That's all fair and accurate. I think that's a true description of what was going on. Now I know what you're thinking. This is outside the office, so I will show you inside the office. There are bottles on the floor. Absolutely. There's Reese's peanut butter cups down here. You can see. Those are delicious. My desk is a mess. I don't always take the time to clean it between shows because you don't really need to all the time. Although I like having a cleaner workspace than this. But yeah, behind the desk, I kept all of the empty liquor bottles that I had. You can see them up here on top of the shelves. Kayla and I have, she has plans for various art projects to make cool stuff out of them. And we thought it would be fun to keep them, and we had space for it. There are a bunch of bottles on the floor. This is 7 years of drinking daily. Why is there toilet paper on the desk? Well, because I was doing a lot of cocaine and sometimes I needed to blow my nose, Spectre.
Was this before or after your parents came over to clean up?
This is during the raid. These are pictures from the search. Like these pictures were taken as they're searching the house. So before my parents didn't come over to help clean up. My parents didn't know, what to do. They came up because I got arrested and they, wanted to be up here to help out with whatever. So they just helped clean up because we were cleaning. They were hanging out. We didn't really know what else to do. It's kind of a weird, surreal moment with everything going on. Nick, why didn't you have your nanny pick up the house? Oh, wait. It wasn't her job to pick up the house. She did some mild cleaning, usually like dishes and stuff, but she wasn't expected to pick up the house. It wasn't her responsibility. Okay, let's go to the hold on, let's see. I gotta see what the next section of photos is. They go through a bag full of brown glass bottles, each one wrapped in tissues. So those glass bottles were these, they're about this big. Do I have one? I don't think I have any around anymore. But anyway, they were about this big and they were like 2 ounces basically, or of really, really expensive whiskeys that someone sent in. So like whiskeys that were $1,500 a bottle and higher. So they sent me several of these little samples from their collection. They were very, very nice. And the cops could not figure them out. Even though there was a piece of paper right next to them, like explaining what each of them was, like because they were labeled with an abbreviation. But anyway, that's the mystery of the brown glass bottles that were wrapped in tissues. So an officer enters and informs that cocaine was found in the bedroom where Kayla and April had come out of earlier. Some of the officers meet up in the entryway and brief each other on the situation. One mentions that Nick is trying to ask some questions instead of answering theirs. Another officer says they need to get statements, figure out who lives in the house, call family services, blah, blah, blah. So then we have this back and forth between Pomplin and I, not really relevant to... Oh, wait, I forgot that you guys aren't on the same page I am. Let's see. Nick and April are both handcuffed in the driveway, facing each other. It's almost cinematic. April is looking at him with a patty face and puppy dog eyes. She's wearing black cutoff shorts and a black long sleeve crop top. As Nick is being walked to the squad car, he tells the officer, I hope you catch gonorrhea and die. I still hold that sentiment. Perhaps I'm just hold on to a grudge too long. Here also, you guys can do this on a different show or stream or whatever. I know several have gone through it, so I won't spend a bunch of time. But everybody's wondering about what April said. Aaron, of course, said that April ratted everybody out. That's not true. April told on herself. That was a big issue, and it was a violation of her Sixth Amendment rights because they Mirandized her. She was Mirandized, and then she said, I will not answer any questions without a lawyer. And then the detective, so the 2 detectives changed, and Pomplin shows up, and so he's not the guy who Mirandized her, but the guy said she had just Mirandized her. She's been Mirandized, whatever, however he said it, like she's just been read Miranda. And then Pomplin goes, okay. And then just asked her question after question after question, like right after that. And so that was it. April just said that she stayed at the house. So they give April her stuff, tell her she's being arrested. She starts freaking out. But this whole like idea that April ratted on anybody or snitched at everybody is completely untrue. It's a fiction made up in Aaron's mind because he's like, aha, that's what happened. It never did at all. So she wasn't charged initially. She was supposed to be. It was actually, I've told this story before a little bit, but it was a clerical error. It was kind of just a miracle that they didn't end up charging her right away. They charged her later on. There's some stupid rumor out there that it was because she went to a tattoo convention. And if you believe that that's why, you're fucking retarded and should probably be put down because that's just stupid. what they did was they realized, holy shit, we were supposed to charge her with 5th degree possession, and they hadn't yet. And so then they did. And I think they hoped that she would roll and talk, and she did not. Instead, she fought it, and then I had her case dismissed along with Kayla's as part of my plea deal. So Kayla refused to speak. As Officer Pomplin walks through the disgusting house, you can hear him let out a huge sigh as he looks at everything. He puts on some gloves as he gets into the bedroom, asks, are we still going through things in here? Officer goes back to his car to get something, drinks some Mountain Dew, and gets some snuff. He had some interactions. Let's see. Starts writing down evidence that was found. All this stuff is previously known, so I'm not going to go through all this. And like I said, the one thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bring you guys into any bedrooms at all. That's just not your business. So I guess the next thing we'll do, the easiest is we have 2 large common areas. The one upstairs is the one you saw. The one downstairs, is less family oriented and more kid oriented, I think is the easiest way to say that. So here is the downstairs kid area. We have our kids play several instruments. You can see over here. Over here we have a marimba. Behind this pillar, there's a full drum set and then a piano as well. The kids all have violins in a different room, stuff like that. But so this is an area. These are these like couch cushion things that kids can build into different forts and stuff. There's a cat. The cat lives outside, but it got in when the police busted open the door, right? Is that the real cat? Yes. This is trying to see if I can. This is Button. Button has dark spots on his nose, so that's how you can tell. It might be hard for you guys to see, but he has a brother named Lion who looks almost identical to him, slightly different coloration, but you can tell by the nose. This is part of the kids' common area. They're not the best at cleaning up. Oh, there's also a xylophone back here in the back, and I will admit this is much messier, and this is annoying because it's like, hey, kids, clean up your space. Maybe that'd be cool. But here's this part, the other side of that couch, basically. And so yeah, we have some arcade machines and stuff like that. The kids have clutter on the ground. I see the floor. Like I see the floor, which is surprising. That's not always true. That's not always true. So the kids are doing a good job here. It's not the best job, but it's better than normal. How the hell is every room of your house at least twice the size of your apartment? Well, I see it's because I forced my children to live in squalor and filth. In a drug-riddled layer full of feces and dirt. Obviously, that's what was going on. That's why no adults in our life had any fucking idea about any of this stuff. Is because we obviously lived in a drug den where you couldn't even count, you couldn't tell if there were more meth addicts or roaches in it at all. So this is the horror scene. I just want to point out. I guess let's do this. This is, you guys have to understand how fucking invasive this is. But in the interest of thoroughness, I will show this is the most private anything gets. This is the bathroom. This is the finding of the safe. So the safe is in a locked bathroom, an ensuite bathroom. There's no access to it except to go through the master bedroom. And it was in this safe right here, which is under this counter. Lies, not the same day 100. No, I'm sorry, you dumb bitch. These are all taken by the cops. There's just no way around it. This is from the raid. I don't know what else to tell you. This is a safe. So when I said I would bring it with me, when we would leave the house, I would bring it with me when we would leave the house. We never left that safe alone with the children or anything like that. You know, I don't know what else to say. It was not accessible to them at any point ever. There's some confusion about the bathrooms in general because so the police took the safe out of that main bathroom and they took it out to the driveway and they cracked open the safe in the driveway using a sledgehammer and an axe or something like that. Once they cracked open the safe, they brought everything back in to the front bathroom, which is right by our front door. I just want to reiterate that police found drugs, right? And they brought it back into the house and then into the front entryway area where drugs were not present before. And they touched all the door handles. They, you know, this is where they would eventually touch my daughter's head too. That being said, here is this red bathroom is described at some point, and again, there's confusion because they're like, how could they find the safe? The bathroom had a pedestal sink, which is true. This bathroom has a pedestal sink. This is just the entryway bathroom. The other bathroom, which I'll show you a better picture of in a minute, is the main bathroom where that I've talked about. So, but this is where they decided they set all the drugs down on this toilet seat cover here, and they pulled everything out. I'll show you that picture too. I don't mind. Citizen M sent in, from claiming he only touched coke twice to blaming drugs for his sociopathic text messages, Aaron continues to lie his ass off about all this. Thank you for having the courage to tell the truth, brother. Yeah, it's not any fun doing this at all. This is a really traumatic day, and it's not my best moment. I want to remind you that the police report said that this house was filthy and moldy as well. So if people wonder why, like, I was frustrated at some of the narrative, maybe it's because my house wasn't filthy and moldy at all. But the two spent 22 shell casings that were on the floor. Again, I've talked about this before. I think I've even shown the thing. I thought I had it in here for. Oh, I do. I don't own a 22. I've never owned a 22. I've never discharged a 22 in or near my house. Actually, since moving to this house, I have not fired a gun like anywhere at all. I don't think. I have not fired it on my property, at least, and I don't believe I fired a gun anywhere. I just haven't used one in the past several years. So this is the thing that was on my nightstand, and it says "Wanna bang." These are like bloomed out bullets, right? And then the dirt is 22 shell casing. That's it. It was just a cute thing Kayla bought me from Amazon. So those are the 22 spent shell casings that they assumed that I was just firing off a gun in my bedroom. There's no holes in my bedroom that bullets would presumably caught. Like, I don't know where else they would go, but there's no holes from the 22. You think they would find that and document that? Yeah, there appear to be bullet holes, et cetera, et cetera. They don't.
I'm gonna be honest, this is way tamer than the transcript makes it seem.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way, doesn't it? It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit strange. Might have something to do with Josh Moon, who's a penchant for always telling the truth and getting everything right, even though he constantly gets shit wrong. Corin Gill says, I'm pretty surprised how different this all is from what I imagined. I guess reality is always weaker than fantasy. Hope you can learn from this. Hope I can learn from this. I've known that the whole time. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Hope you can learn from this. What, that people lie like a lot? Yeah, I can. I guess I'll show you here's the drugs. So this is where, again, they brought in the contents of the safe. And I'll describe everything here. So this is obviously a digital scale, a little tray that you put the stuff that you need to weigh in. This is the cocaine. I've got a bit better picture of it coming up. This is ketamine. It is I've told the story about how I accidentally did ketamine instead of cocaine, and so that is labeled KKK, so that mistake would not be made again. But yeah, and then there's just a couple like straws or whatever, and some cards, etc. Remember that my children were out like they're just completely could not wear any clothes. They had no clothes available. They're so filthy and just dirty and disgusting, right? You saw the laundry, by the way. There's a lot. So clearly there are no clothes around, right? It's not like we have an entire room that is just the children's clothes. I mean, these dirty, stinky kids just don't have any clothes available. It's amazing how that was true, I guess. Mama K says there's one actual legit photo. Hey, Mama K, you're a fucking scum bitch. I hope you die. I really do. Go away. Fuck you. You're disgusting. Take your trauma somewhere else. I didn't abuse you. I didn't abuse my kids. Someone else abused you. Go take it up with them. Fuck's sake. You're a psychopath. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. Your living spaces looks like my family's living room, and Den did 5 minutes after me and my 4 siblings woke up in the morning when we were kids.
Yeah. It's kind of like we're a normal family. Like, I don't know what people thought was going on. Oh, wait, I do. It's because someone has been lying about me and my family for the past year. Every single day for the past year. And they've crafted some narrative about some horrific hellscape. And I'm sorry, but it's just not fucking true. And at some point, like, I have to do what I don't want to do. And that is just pull up the pictures taken by the cops on that day. And try to just let this go. But Josh paid people to lie. And now he's throwing a tantrum. See, Josh doesn't know what's on the video. Like, he doesn't know this. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. He wants to see my kids suffering. My kids are very calm through all this. It was traumatic, of course. But they weren't suffering. They weren't like wailing or moaning in the streets. They're just there. They don't really like... There's nothing to do. They just had to wait. They had to wait for everything to progress. But they're not having a fit. They're not screaming and crying. They're not breaking down. They're not filthy and dirty. They're just kids. Leave them the fuck alone. You're such a goddamn weirdo. Coringil says, well, I just saw this shower in that house you sold, and I guess it influenced my view. Josh didn't influence me in the slightest. That shower, other people lived there for 4 years. My goal was get rid of that house as fast as possible. I didn't really care to go over and clean the shower because cleaning the shower wasn't going to be the thing that made or broke the sale of that house. The house is way out in the country. It's a beautiful property, and it's a large house, but it's kind of uniquely laid out. And you have to kind of want that design, or you have to do a whole bunch of work to it. I think the people who bought it are renovating it entirely, which is awesome. So they didn't care what the fucking shower looked like. And the shower just has, it's just hard water. We have very mineral heavy water out here. And, apparently the residents who were there maybe didn't put salt in the water softener as much. So scale built up and they didn't clean it. I didn't really feel like cleaning it or hiring someone to do it. I didn't think it was necessary to sell the house, and it wasn't. I just got the house sold pretty quickly. So, people made a big deal about the shower. Nobody out here cares about stuff like that at all. Unless you're buying $1.5 million house on a lake, right? Like, then you care. But other than that, people don't give a shit.
This is why qualified immunity needs to be weakened, if not abolished.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is the unlawful disclosure of body cam footage by the county. There is no immunity. There isn't any. I would love to show you the guns. So the police said that there was, my rifle had loose ammo with it. That's true, except that the ammo didn't fit in the rifle. The ammo was for the handguns, which were in a safe in a completely different part of the house. The rifle ammo was nowhere near the guns. The rifle ammo was in the garage. And again, there is no way that rifle was going to be accidentally discharged by anyone. It just wasn't. It wasn't going to happen. There was no ammo for it. Again, the ammo that is there, and there is ammo, is for 2 handguns that are somewhere else entirely. We did not keep loose ammo near any guns, except for there were loaded magazines in the safe with the handguns, because, if you have to pull out a handgun for self-defense, you wanted a loaded magazine. But there is a reason they were comfortable dropping the gun charges, right? Like, the guns were present, but they weren't in real proximity to the drugs. Here's the main chunk of the coke. This is on the scale back at the sheriff's office. So this is not at my house, but they had 18.96 grams, including the bag. This is the initial weight that they did the charging with. The 26 grams that they had was, that's when they measured it, is with all of the bags. They don't take it out until they do the official testing at the BCA lab in Minnesota. And so they weigh it all, and it has the bag weight on it. Well, there were 3 small bags, and then the bag that this is in. This bag probably weighs about 1 gram to 1.5 grams. And then the 3 small bags each weigh about 1.5 to 2 grams. The small bags actually weigh a little bit more because they have the Ziploc on them, so it adds a little weight. But so when you have 4 bags, right, you're gonna lose like between 4 and 8 grams when they actually take the bags away and measure everything out in powder. So that's why, when they got the official weight, it was around 19.5 grams, not the 26 that they first mentioned. Matty B says, take a screenshot of actual body cam to prove it. No. And here's why. I'm not releasing any of the body cam footage until this issue is resolved with the county. The body cam footage is private. It is classified as private under the law. We just got a judge to correct the magical error of it being labeled as evidence when it was never actually used as evidence. It was uploaded into the Mindes evidence system because if you wanted to use it as evidence, if it was offered and accepted at the evidentiary hearing, then it would have to be previously uploaded into the system. So you have to upload it in advance. However, it was never offered nor accepted in a court hearing at all. So it was never used as evidence. The issue that we were going to use it as evidence on was resolved by both us and the state. It was agreed. It was the 6th Amendment issue for April. And so that was completely thrown out. And the evidence was not used in any way. I have another room. This is another cluttery room. I figured we'd go ahead and show this. This is our Lego display room. So up on this top shelf, there's a bunch more of this, but I don't have it all. Up on this top shelf is a bunch of Legos that are completed Lego sets. We have like the Home Alone house up here. And not trying to overlook or hide anything, there are a bunch of socks over here. This leads to that room, the kids' closet. So there are a bunch of socks on the ground because we have like 7 billion socks that are all mismatched, and so yeah. This is also a play kitchen. This thing over here on the side is a play kitchen for like little kids. Our 7-year-old's about at the top age of that. She plays with it from time to time, but it's less and less. But their younger cousins would play with it quite a bit, so we've kept it. But it's a cool little mini kitchen. Lots of houses have something similar.
I bet right now, Sean, in Legal Mindset, are consoling each other whilst partaking in a rusty trombone together, while Kurt watches in the corner using tweezers to get at his micro peen.
No, they won't, right? Like they won't say anything. They'll be like, oh, man, I actually don't even know. Here's another shot of here's a shot. Sorry. This is around the corner from this one's cluttery. The kids always leave this one to be a mess. Yes, I will blame them. They can take the blame on this. This is just a little kitchenette downstairs where the kids have snacks and stuff. They have their own refrigerator. For all the food that they don't have, we have 3 refrigerators in our house. All of them are full all the fucking time. It's annoying because if you have to put leftovers away, there's nowhere to put them. But yes, so the kids who don't have any food to eat have their own kitchenette with their own fridge and their own sink and stuff like that. And they sit at this little bar over here, and they will sit on their iPads or do homework or whatever while they eat.
Have we reached the point where it is appropriate to make pedophiliac jokes about his kids, or has Nick not had enough nitros?
Wow, that's gross. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but okay, I guess. Here's another shot of the downstairs room from the other angle. Again, so this is that drum set. You can see over here is a xylophone that we could see before. The piano is down here. It's hard to see from this angle. That's the piano bench. These damn kids never pick up these damn couches. But we have five of these things, right? Because each kid has their own. So they actually, like, when they take them all out, it is a mess. I'm sorry about that. I really am. This is a game table. It's supposed to be. They do Legos on here or play games. They do some like tabletop role playing games, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, or they do board games or puzzles. All that. So that's a table entirely for that space. This is my son's computer area, where he does schoolwork and projects, and he and his brother code all sorts of shit in Roblox and stuff like that. Stuff I don't understand. But again, there are piano books on the floor over here, so that it is pretty messy, I guess, in that respect. So what's mentioned at one point is this is a very cluttery room. I fully agree. I hate it. It's a lot of work to get it fixed up, but it is on my list of things to do. It's just I'm basically the only person who uses this room most of the time. So here you go. This is the library that is mentioned. This goes to my office. It's a library room. We don't want our kids to like have any knowledge of anything. So we have 2 libraries full of books. I don't know. This picture has the one of the officers in it. So this is the bathroom. This is the infamous bathroom. Again, I showed you earlier where the safe was found, but here's a wider shot. I have 2 wider shots of the bathroom, so you guys can see. One of them has Sonny in it. The other one has an officer in it. So here's the first one with the officer. Again, this is really intimate and personal. This is also at 9 a.m. Sonny had not been out yet, so sorry. There is a little bit of dog poop in the image. Please steel yourselves for it. So you can see over here on the right, this is the officer taking the picture from the bathroom. This is one angle of it. Is that sufficient for you? Like, I don't know how to show you the EXIF data on all the pictures, but there's a cop in this one. Watch SVH says, I watched something from the slug and gab tooth covering the body cam notes. These photos don't match with their excessive reactions. I've been in a hoarder's house, and so far this ain't one. We have a lot of stuff. We personally, I overspend and overshop on things. I buy things. I'm like, oh, I can just, like, if I want something, I just grab it and buy it. And I used to. haven't done that in a while because I kind of stopped having a reason to, and I reassessed what I was doing. That being said, like certainly I a bunch of stuff that I want to go through and get rid of, and have not been the best at that. But I don't think we reached the level of hoarder just yet. So then I have one more picture from the bathroom, I believe, with Sunny in it, because Sunny is cute. Annoys the shit out of me all the time because dogs are just annoying to take care of. But here we are again. So here's the bathroom where Sunny is trapped. Now, Sunny stays in this bathroom when there's not someone to supervise her, like you would have a kennel trained dog, except she has a big fucking bathroom. I don't know. Locked in that bathroom. Look at her living in squalor. It's terrible. Just abused and constrained. Not the same. Dogs don't do good in isolation. The dog isn't in isolation. The dog has a place to stay when no one is around to supervise her, so she's not running around the house like crazy. And have you heard how many stories were from the bathroom? Like all of them. This is where I have a Google Music thing in there. I hang out in this bathroom. Like Steve Harvey hangs out in his bathroom. I don't know how else to say it. Like that bathroom is one where the dog gets a ton of interaction, but two, when there are people around, she comes out of the bathroom and she hangs out in the house, or she goes outside like a normal dog. I don't know what to say other than I've always thought that, like kennel training a dog was fine. This is a big fucking kennel. So the last picture I have is of the karaoke room, which is right here. Here's the karaoke room. I don't know. There's not much else to say about it. Welcome to my house. Every one of those pictures taken by the cops on the day of the arrest. If I can figure out how to post the EXIF data or whatever, I will. It's not something I usually look up. I don't know how to do it sufficiently. So I'll ask someone who does, and then I'll post it. I don't care. Like if you have the EXIF data from the pictures. Okay, but why was the dog in the bathroom when April and Kayla were in the bedroom? April was in that bedroom for like 10 minutes. Kayla was asleep at the time. I had just left, and then April had to leave to take. So I left with one kid, and then April had to leave with a different kid about 15 minutes after I left. So she was just getting changed into different clothes, and then she was gonna, take the next kid out. They had a weird schedule that day. They had to be. Normally they have to be at places like an hour apart, so there's time to get them and come back home, stuff like that. But on this day, they only had like 30 minutes between two different places that they had to be at. So one person could not do the driving on that day. Oh, why was a mother of 5 children asleep at 10 a.m.? Well, it wasn't 10 a.m. It was police got there around 9, I believe. Why was a mother of 5 children asleep? I don't know. We have a different sleep schedule than you, homie. Our children are homeschooled for the most part. And, I work 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So our kids have a different sleep schedule too. Get over it. It's weird fucking questions. Because fuck you, that's why. How's that one? Jesus Christ. Also, the retard who wrote this said that, or I think it was them, I don't know, or Josh insinuated or something, that there's something in the body cam footage about, like, of me beating my wife and son, which is kind of, like, that's weird. I'm not sure how I would have gotten away with that on body cam footage. from the cops who were already arresting me. When I read the description, again, my house is not in ideal shape. And I will freely admit that my personal living space is more cluttered than the rest of the house. It frustrates me a lot. It's not the easiest thing to clean up. And yeah, if I showed you pictures from my bedroom, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Like I said, I would buy stuff just on a whimsy, and then, you know, I'd bring it to my bedroom because it's my stuff. And that's where I was spending a lot of time. So yeah, if I brought you into the bedroom, it would be more cluttered, but it's more clutter. I mean, our house isn't dirty and gross. Our house was mildly messy, but I, in my brain, like, remembered it being like, I thought it was worse. And I pulled up those pictures and I was like, holy shit. Like this is not as bad as I remember. I mean, not ideal. Again, I would prefer it to be cleaner, but it wasn't the fucking, moonshine apocalypse that was laid out. And reading the descriptions, I was like, you are fucking kidding me. Like that Lady K person, a legit goblin who is obsessive, compulsive liar and exaggerator, and I guess a projector. I don't know. I don't know what the impetus is for her to act in the way she does. I'm sorry that she was molested or abused or whatever by a drug addicted mother or father. I don't know. I don't remember which one. She told me something about it, but not too much. I'm sorry that happened to you. That doesn't happen in my house. It just doesn't. And you're not going to find you're not going to find peace in your own life by looking for my life to be worse than it is. I've made tons of mistakes. I harmed people that I really care about, and I'm trying to just work past it. Lying about the conditions of my house and suggesting I was abusing my kids because you were abused is disgusting. And whatever punishment karma decides to put on you for that, you merit all of it and more. You filthy bitch. That being said, I think we're done. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you invading my privacy very thoroughly. And let's never do it again.